1470 WOCA.
WOCA.
All right, 25 minutes before 11 o'clock. It is time for Damage Control. This is the show hosted by Joe Rackle from Damage Control Services. He'll tell you what he and his guys do when they get a call from somebody who's had some damage done to their home or to their property in some form. And Joe will tell you what he does. He'll also tell you what maybe you could do if you're contemplating a do-it-yourself project. That's always a fun conversation to eavesdrop on. Good morning, Joe. How you doing?
Good morning.
How's your world going?
It's good. I got a phone call this morning, a woman with a wet ceiling. She's got some sort of a roof leak, not sure what, so I got to go out there and take a look at it this afternoon. And the guys yesterday were doing a huge cleaning job on a mobile home that had mold. And today they start a real nice remodeling project. It's a nice horse farm out west of Ocala. Mm-hmm. And the homeowners have these people bought this house, and they're making a master bedroom, master bathroom, and bedroom into one large master bedroom suite, master bathroom, and closet. So it's gonna, and then some other extensive remodel, new kitchen and stuff, but a lot of new flooring. It's gonna be a nice little remodeling project for us. So
it's fun for you, isn't it?
Yeah, they started the demo on that today.
Yeah.
So that's
always part of it, isn't it? The demolition. Followed by the reconstruction.
Yep.
All right. Almost sounds like a war.
Almost does. It's that's a real nice part of the project. Nice to be able to see or take a project from the very start and
right.
And I mean
it's always exciting. Yeah.
Yeah, and for us, for me and Mike and Rob, we see. Even if it's a disaster or just an empty lot, we can actually, the way we work, we already picture it. Picture the new home, or we picture the addition already there. In our minds, it's just a matter of going through the steps to finish it, to put it there. But and that's where a lot of times we work with homeowners, and they don't really know, they can't picture it. I was talking to a interior designer this morning, actually, and she was helping an older woman try to pick out paint colors, and she went to her house, and this poor woman had 12 different colors of different paint, spots painted on her wall, just areas that she was painting.
Oh, really?
In order to get an idea.
Get an idea, yeah.
And she was overwhelmed to the point she didn't know what to do now. So, an interior designer was able to go in there, work with her, and narrow it down. And that's kind of we kind of very similar in jobs as far as we're able to already see it done. If somebody says, I don't know what color to paint this wall, I can see it as a red wall or, whatever color. I can see it finished.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
I think the interior decorator is the uncelebrated profession, because I've seen miracles done by
most definitely.
By them.
And a lot of them can take, the furniture that you've already got.
Yes,
and rearrange it in or even just add some color and make it an incredible area. And that's where, for us, we're trying to see where we can work with interior designers in what we do, so that we can go through the and kind of take maybe work with a homeowner in an easier facet, and say, hey, here, spend some time with the interior decorator and pick out colors, make it happen. And it always seems to work a lot easier whenever there is someone else that can see it and is able to pick out different ideas and make things happen.
It is amazing. If I could tell you my little story. When I worked at the assisted living facility, Park Place, which is now, I can't remember what they call it now, but anyway, I worked there 3 years.
Right.
And so I saw people moving out of apartments and people moving into those same apartments. And one example was there was a younger man who had been seriously injured in a truck driving accident. And his room was pretty much decorated the way mine would be. There was a TV and a bed. That was about it. After he moved out, there was a lady who moved in there and made it look like a room in a mansion. It was just amazing how somebody can take their skill at designing and make a room into a real living place.
Right. Well, and it's it's rather easily done. Whether you just change some paint colors to.
Is that you? Are you good at that? Is that something you're good at?
I can do it okay. I can't say that I'm. I think I'm good
humble.
at it.
You're being humble.
I think I'm good at it.
You probably are.
I can't.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't really. I don't stay up to date on the newer fashion trends and decorating trends and stuff. A lot of times, I get articles and stuff like that on the internet. I'll read it, but.
Yeah.
Well, I can't say that I'm trendy as far as interior designing.
I would be terrible. I wouldn't have a clue. Everything would look like from the 50s or something if I tried. I wouldn't know.
Well, I mean, if we went into a room and someone, just looking at what you've got as far as what color would be a good idea to paint this wall or paint the walls in, I can do that. I mean, I've got no problem picking something that.
See, I don't know.
But then again, it's all a matter of personal taste too.
I remember when I was a kid, I painted my room orange, and my father said, "Why'd you do that?"
And your answer was, why not do that?
I don't know. I thought, oh, good.
Did you like it?
I guess. I mean, I lived in an orange room for a while. He didn't force me to repaint it.
Yeah, as long as you liked it.
It was like your shirt right now. It's kind of that orange color.
Yeah, Dan and I have the same color shirts on today.
Is that right?
Mm-hmm. I just put a picture on Facebook.
Is it the anti-St. Patrick's Day idea?
I don't know. I don't know what you'd call it. I guess the other half of the Miami Hurricanes.
By the way, every morning there's a thing they do in video games called Easter eggs, where they hide things. Has nothing to do with Easter or with eggs.
Okay.
It's just what they call them. But they hide things in video games. And I've noticed your magnetic business card hidden certain places, like when I come into work in the morning. So I don't tell anybody about it. I don't touch them. I leave them there. I say, hey, that's like a hidden Easter egg. Find Joe's cards around town.
Yeah, if you happen to see one of my cards and take a picture of it, make sure you send it to me or put it on Facebook.
Really?
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
So you know the one I see on my way in, right?
Uh-huh.
You know which one I'm referring to?
Yeah, there wasn't one there this morning, so I put another one there.
Oh, really? Somebody took it off?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Well, it wasn't me.
But I've also, I've got some in the restrooms of Mojo's restaurant. Yeah.
Do they know it?
I don't know. They've been there forever. I'm sure people know it. I'm sure.
So talk about bathrooms for a second.
Okay.
That's often a redone part of the house, right? Mm-hmm. Is that harder because of all the plumbing involved?
Well, I mean...
And the mirrors and everything else, the cabinets?
Here again, it really depends to the extent. Like the one that we're doing right now, the one that the guys are on this morning, it is a complete demolition and then start all over. It is in an existing home, so what we'll have to do at that point is move the plumbing around to where we need it, which will, cut the concrete floor and, just put the drains where necessary, and then fill the concrete back in and then go from there. So, it really depends the extent and what they want to accomplish.
And you have a phone call. Everybody's invited to call Joe, by the way. Let me just mention the phone number real quick. It's the WOCA Climate Control Source Hotline, 622-9622. If you're listening out of the area code is 352. And here's your call. Good morning. You're on the air with Joe Reichel.
Good morning, Joe.
Good morning.
You mentioned bathrooms, and it hit me there. What do you think about these tubs that are like elevated, that the built-in seat and a door that you open up and go in? I can see that working just fine when it's brand new, but after a couple of years, I can just imagine that door leaking if you use it as a tub or whatever. And the other thing is, can you install that glass like you would for a regular tub enclosure, the glass tub enclosure, sliding doors? Can you put something like that in on that kind of a tub? I'm assuming it's probably fiberglass. So I'll hang up and listen to your answers. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for the call. I'm not real sure the warranty on those. I know they have... there is a long extended warranty with those tubs, the walk-in tubs that you're talking about. we worked with a homeowner that had one of those put in not too long ago, and I got to be up close and personal on it just because of the area we were working at. It seems to be a great idea. However, I mean, for me, the only problem is you've got to, get in there, shut the door. You're in there until it fills up to the point where you want it.
Yeah, yeah.
And then you've got to drain the tub and wait until it drains before you get out because of where the door is located. So they do...
That's true. I never thought of that.
Yeah, they do, do a purpose. They suit a purpose. And if someone has health problems where they need to be in a tub, they're great for that purpose. So, as far as an enclosure on them, I'm sure you can because they put, the walls in there and everything. So, it could be, you could get it wet. Most of the times they don't. I haven't seen them when they have those glass wall or glass door enclosures on them. But I'm sure there'd be a means for doing that.
I believe there's a vendor at the end of the mall here that sells them, by the way.
Okay.
But I thought that same thing. How long does that seal last? There was an article, a pictorial article in the Star Banner about this aqua car. Did you see the car that goes into the water?
Yep.
I thought the same thing about those doors. What happens when those...
Well, it's just like anything that gets constant water and even like a sunroof on a car.
Yeah.
Or even the car door itself. I mean, you've got the gaskets there, the seals, but the walk-in tubs they do have a really good warranty with them. So.
The photo that you took and posted on Facebook has been responded to by Brad Nimmo from Habitat for Humanity. He wrote, "Orange is the new black."
Orange is the new black. Well, we were the title of that is Men in Orange, so we were kind of going off for the Men in Black theme there. So.
Right. That my mom had broken her hip, and so my dad had the decision whether to put in one of those tubs that you were just talking about, or simply put in a shower without and have no more tub. He opted to the shower and no more tub, and it worked wonderfully. My mom passed away about 1.5 years ago, so
sorry.
That's okay. I wasn't telling you for that, but the point is, when my family and I decided to sell the house, that was an issue. We had to decide, should we bring the price down because there's no tub? Should we wait till for them to mention it? And that was the only issue regarding it. And if you want to know the ending of the story, somebody bought the house. They said, no problem, just knock off, $1,000 or something? And we did. So
Right. Well, and that's where, I'm working with a homeowner right now. I've got to go there this afternoon on a prospective house that they're buying. It has a tub in it. They're wanting to take the tub out and make a walk-in shower.
Okay.
So really...
same as my dad did. Same thing, yeah.
So it really depends it depends on the homeowner. It depends on the needs of the homeowner. And then two, whenever a remodeling project comes into play, it really depends on the budget. So our job is to take, your wants and needs and make it match your budget.
The phone line is open if you'd like to call Joe Rackle right now. The number is 622-9622. Maybe you are looking at a project that needs to be done and you're thinking, I think I could do that. Maybe you need a tip or two. Maybe you need to, what kind of tool would I need? What can I expect? What unexpected things can you tell me about? That kind of stuff.
I just found out this morning, here's a little side point and something I always try to convey to the listeners. I'll read it right here directly from my text. Basically the insurance claim was denied. This was a pretty large flood job because the homeowner had moved out and was not living there. So now they're stuck with basically paying for it, paying for the dry out of it, and then paying for the rebuild now because it was a pretty extensive water leak and went everywhere, ruined the cabinets and the flooring and stuff. So, kind of like we've talked about before, they had insurance while they were living there. But so, kind of it's always good to get with your insurance agent, make sure you're covered with what you need. Make sure that all of your assets are covered.
Yeah, good point. And you have a phone call. Good morning. You're on the air with Joe.
Hi, good morning, Joe.
Good morning.
Hey, my brother-in-law, I was in contact with him the other day, and he's doing a lot of work on his home and that. And he has, one of his rooms has what they call that popcorn ceiling that was very popular maybe 20 years ago or whatever.
Right.
Is that a big project, getting that off of there, and should that be done professionally, and what kind of a tool would you need, and is it going to be a big problem for him?
Well, that's a sprayed-on texture, and there's a couple different ways that, you can hire someone to take it off. It's going to be a lot of work, and I say that simply because we've done it. We've taken it down. Basically, you're working overhead. So if you want an idea of how hard this is going to be, stand up and then put your arm over your head and see how long you can hold it there and wave it around a little bit. And at the same time, look up. Make sure you're looking up. So you're going to be looking up at the ceiling. You're going to be scraping the ceiling. And as you're scraping, all that stuff is falling down on top of you. And on the ground and all around you. And don't forget, too, you're standing on a ladder while you're doing this because you can't probably reach the ceiling. It is an extensive job, and, we've done it on several homes, and basically you need to wet that area, wet it down, and then it will just scrape right off with a drywall knife or something, flat scraper, something like that. So it's not necessarily hard, but it's one of those things where it's physical on the body, if that makes sense.
Is there a possibility of scraping, of doing some damage to the drywall, to the ceiling itself, maybe if it doesn't come off real easy?
Well, if you wet it, it will come off pretty easy. The areas that you'll have to worry about, or the only areas that I would be concerned about, would be the areas where there's tape joints, something like that. But once you get that wet, and you can get it pretty wet. You don't want to... you can spray it down pretty good with a sprayer of some sort and get it soaking wet, and that way, once you're scraping it, it's just coming right off.
Yeah, those ceilings were pretty popular quite a few years back. I remember when we were looking for property down here in Florida. Back in '95, several homes had it, and then my wife always said, "Oh God, I'm never going to buy a house with popcorn ceiling," because he just hated it, and so we never did. But like I said, my brother-in-law, in talking to him the other day, he's got a room that he wants to take it down, and I said, "Boy, you might have a project on your hands. I don't know. I'm going to talk to a guy on a radio station down here and get a good feel for the situation, but I got a feeling, knowing him, he'll probably have somebody come in and do it, because he's handy, but not really super handy. He doesn't want to wreck anything,
Right. Well, and two, it makes quite a mess. You'll need to make sure that the carpet or whatever flooring you have is covered real good, and all of your furnishings that are in there, make sure that they're covered over, and you'll have quite a mess to clean up. But
how was that originally put on? Was it like sprayed on or applied?
It's a mixture that is sprayed on.
It is, huh?
Yeah.
But it probably goes down real easy, but it ain't going to come off that easy, I guess. Huh?
Well, that's the way it's supposed to. Or it's not supposed to come off easily anyway.
Okay. Thank you very much. Nice talking to you.
Thanks for your call.
Another example, in this case, somebody else needing some do-it-yourself tips, right?
And that's one thing too. You look at something like that, and you think, well, that won't be hard to do, and it really isn't. But when you put everything into perspective, as far as the standing on a ladder, holding your hand over your head, and you're going to be scraping, so you're moving that back and forth. So he's probably going to be if a typical homeowner, even myself, to do it. I don't do a lot of physical work, but I would be pretty sore the next day. Guaranteed.
Plus, you need some goggles so you don't get stuff
Definitely
in your
wear
eyes.
safety glasses. Yeah, old clothes because you're going to get it dirty.
Well, and isn't that the case with everything that you do? Is that you learn from doing it? And
Right. And that's, I mean, it's not a project that would be impossible, and someone could say, hey, I'll do that. And it's kind of, too, it's a sense of ownership. When you're all done, you say,
right.
hey, I did that.
Ah, yes, right. That's my accomplishment
Right.
there. Well, men do this. This is my observation.
They go,
No,
tools.
like when I cut the grass.
Like that, you mean?
When I cut the grass, that's a big accomplishment. So I stand and I stare at the freshly cut grass, and I say, wow, I did that.
Oh, yeah.
But I notice, like, women, they can do anything and just walk away. They don't stare at it afterwards.
I don't know.
Yeah? You've noticed this?
Plant a nice flower garden. They work on you. And they go,
They usually go in the
I
house.
like
They don't stare at it.
But they enjoy it all the time.
Yeah, but I think we stare. We put a doorknob in. We'll stare at that
Guys
doorknob.
do stare. You're
They
right.
stare at that finished doorknob. A woman will make a meal. She doesn't stare at it. Look at that. Look at that roast beef
I don't
made.
typically stare at it either. I eat it. And then say, that was the best meal I ever had.
Take a picture of it, right?
Sometimes I'll take a picture of it.
Too funny.
I love to eat.
So is the nice weather?
Well, the rain we had yesterday, like I said, I
Does
got
it
a
help,
phone
right?
call for a wet ceiling. A lady had a leak in her roof. Not sure what I'm getting into there, but as we get closer to spring and we get more of these spring showers like we had yesterday, all day rain, that loosens the soil up, and then we get a little bit of breeze, and trees will start coming down.
I thought the same thing.
Be careful. Look around your house. If you've got any trees that look suspicious or you're not real sure, call someone. Call an arborist to come out and take a look at it, and they can direct you in the right process. Or even call me. I'll come out and take a look at your trees and direct you. If I can, if it's something that I can look at and say, hey, yeah, I recommend taking that tree down. But if you've got a tree overhanging your house that especially this time of the year that you're not real, it kind of gives you a little bit of an uneasy feeling.
Yeah.
Definitely want to get rid of it.
Do you know what I saw? I saw in Lowe's a deck kit.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Now this looks like a lot of lumber.
It is a lot of lumber.
It makes it look easy. Is it easy to put a deck up?
I love building decks. I think they are one of the coolest things and nice feature. You get to enjoy them. Sit out there and enjoy it.
So asking you if it's easy is like asking a doctor if a tonsillectomy is easy, right?
Yeah, I compare decks to tonsillectomies all the time. No, it's one of those things where that is a pile of lumber, and you really, like any project, you don't realize how much goes into it. I was talking to a lady that made a quilt the other day, and she was telling me how many how many feet of thread went into the quilt, and it was unbelievable. I mean, I don't even remember the number.
I don't know the number either.
It was astronomical, but and probably if you looked at that pile of thread before you put it together, good way, yeah, you'd
good
kind of
comparison.
say, oh my, I don't know that I can do this.
But I have a specific question about the deck.
Right.
Okay. Now, the problem, I would think, this is me talking, so you obviously different brain than mine. I would think that the wood would need to be protected from the rain.
Yes.
Okay, so
Thompson's water seal.
You brush something on. Okay, you brush that on.
Or you can spray it on.
Okay. Here's my question. Do you spray it on before you build it?
No.
All right. What about the bottom?
You could.
Doesn't the bottom need to be protected too?
The bottom doesn't get the heat and the sun and the rain directly on it.
Does that stuff protect it from termites too, or no?
No, that wouldn't protect it from termites. But I mean, typically a deck you're using a pressure-treated lumber if you're using wood. So
you really don't need to put the stuff.
No.
What do you call it again?
Thompson's water seal.
Okay.
Any type of.
So you don't need to put water seal on the bottom.
Penetrating sealer is what you'd want to use.
What about between? Like there's a little 1/8-inch slat there.
Usually it covers pretty good in there.
Goes in there?
Yeah. Usually it gets it pretty good. I mean, there's several different types of water seals and different colors even. They come in different pigments of stain. So, I mean, you can get to whatever you want.
So if I buy one of those kits, I can call you up if I have a
Sure.
If I'm stuck, it's like, oh, Joe.
If you're stuck, you
what
can
the
call me,
heck
Larry.
do I do here?
You've got my number, right?
I have your number, yes.
You got one of my magnets?
I got two of your magnets.
And you know where you can see one when you walk in.
I have them right there on my refrigerator. Just in case I have somebody who ever needs one.
I've stuck several magnets. Already this morning, I've stuck several magnets around places. So
this is a good time to ask people to call you and ask for a magnet, because that's my suggestion.
give me a call and get you a refrigerator magnet, and that way you'll have it just in case, but I hope you never have to call me. However, if a friend or family needs the number, you'll have it. Give me a call on my cell number, 352-817-6574, or joe@damageflorida.com. That's my direct email, and I'll be able to get you a magnet too.
All right, and Facebook as well. You guys got to have a Facebook page, right?
Damage Control Services does have a Facebook, so like us on Facebook.
Enjoy this beautiful weather, Joe.
It's a great day.
Thank you for coming in.
Thank you. Have a great day.
And helping us understand these things. All right, we'll take a little break and be right back.
Damage control, damage control,
Ocala's information station, 1370 WOCA.
Ocala.
ABC News Now. I'm Karen Chase. Thailand military officials say their radar detected a plane that may have been the missing Malaysian Airlines jet minutes after its communications went down. And they didn't say anything sooner because they weren't asked. The revelation